Yeah, wait a minute. Get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business.
Welcome to Standing on Business, a podcast from Lion Manufacturing where we want to know what business do you stand on. And today we're here with Jesse Sawicki and our guest, Shaquan Pratt. And it's good having you on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate being here for sure.
And we just have a few questions. You came from here. You're pretty local. And we're just a few questions would be, what's your best or worst memory from CL?
Oh, man. One best or worst or both?
Both. You can get both.
So best, I would say football, man. Playing football. I spent a lot of time playing football, playing with my friends. You know, I got a lot of memories on that football field, even on the practice field. And I would say my worst memories, man, I got in a lot of trouble. So, there was a lot of good days and there's some bad days, but they were all days that I learned a lot. And so, there were some good days on the football field and some bad days in the principal's office.
And you went to go play football in college too. Was that exciting?
Oh, yeah, man. It was an amazing experience. I played at Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. I played at nose guard. We won the championship that year. It was an amazing opportunity. I highly recommend if you get the chance to play at the next level, take it.
How would you say that sports impacted how you went to get to where you are now?
Yeah, using sports, man. Whenever you're on a sports team, you have to, you're a leader, especially if you're a good player and people look up to you. And so in business, you're leading people. And so sports taught me how to still fight whenever we lost. We weren't very good. You guys were good. You guys are good at football this year. You got congratulations making it to the state championship. I think we won 2 games my senior year. So really, So really overcoming failure. Because in business you fail. How do you fail and how do you get back up? How do you still have a good time whenever you fail? And so. Football taught me a lot about leadership and a lot about overcoming adversity.
That's awesome. When you were young, did you think that you would get into real estate?
No, I didn't. I knew I wanted to own some type of business, but I didn't think it would be real estate. I'd always think about real estate and I thought, I don't want to sell houses. I didn't know there was another side of real estate where you can actually own the house. And so it took me until, until I started reading books to really learn that there's a whole investment side of real estate. I had a cousin who would always say, yeah, I'm going to own a house. And I thought he was crazy. And now we're both doing real estate together. So,
did you think that you would stay in Pennsylvania or did you know that you wanted to leave and travel?
When I was younger, I didn't know, man. I thought that the world was as big as Pennsylvania. I didn't know that, there was a Denver. I knew there was Denver, but I never thought, hey, I would go to Denver or I would go to New Jersey. And so I think that, it's hard to see the world is bigger whenever you're here until you actually leave. So no, I didn't know that when I was here. And then once I left, it was like, I don't want to come back. Clearly, I came back here to see you guys, but actually living here again, I don't think I could do that because there is so much more out there in the world to see. So.
While building your businesses, what were some of the biggest obstacles that you had?
Finances, getting finance. How am I going to pay for these things? People are the biggest obstacle in real estate. In any business, people are so unpredictable. You think everything's going good. You got a good employee. You train them up for 2 years and out of nowhere they just leave. And so I would say leading people, managing people is the biggest obstacle, I think, in business.
So when you hire people, what do you look for in hiring people?
Good question, man. So really I look for character, what you do when no one's looking. A lot of my employees, I don't want to be there watching you all day. I can't. I have other things to do. So what's your character? How do you work without me? problem solving. 99% of my job every day is solving problems. So are you able to solve problems without me, without my leadership? And then leadership, are you a leader? Can you manage other people? Anyone on my team, you're usually managing some type of person. And so how do you manage people, and how do you handle stressful situations? And so those are the things I look for. I'm not looking for necessarily a straight A student. I'm not looking, at your job resume in detail. I'm looking at who you are as a person, outside of what you put on a piece of paper.
So now that we know that you look for character in your employees, do you have any teachers that had an impact on your character while you were here at Clarion Limestone?
Oh, man, I would say teachers, football coaches, Mr. Pizzuti, he would always hold me accountable. I remember one time I came to his class late. He's told me, he's like, Shaquan, if you keep doing this at the next level, you're not going to make it. And he was right. And if I kept going down that path at that time, just not being late, not carrying, being lackadaisical in my work, I would not have been successful at the next level. So Mr. Pizzuti was definitely a big influence on me, and teaching me how to be a man and how to be accountable for what I said I was going to do, and hold stay true to my word. So,
you talk about all these like coming back here and how it's so important to you. Why is that?
This is where I came from, man. This is a big piece of me. Like I said, I love to hunt. I like to fish. I come back here every year to hunt, and so these are my roots. And coming back here to speak, I'm blessed to be asked to be here with you guys. It's a way for me to give back, and I'm glad that I actually physically came here and didn't just do a Zoom interview. It's important to me because if I'm able to, talk to one kid, talk to one of you guys, and maybe help you with your journey, with some things that so you don't have to go through some of the mistakes that I made, then it's worth it. And so I really want to give back to you guys. I know I've been here. I've been where you guys are at. So yeah.
So with that, what advice would you give us, as in building our character and building or being financially successful?
In terms of building your character, I would say stand on business, stand on your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. It's important. People are always, people are going to remember that, hey, does this man say what he says he's going to do? It's his word, his bond. And so it's really important to have a moral in you as a person. In building financial wealth, educate yourself. School doesn't always educate you on how to obtain wealth. And once you do have wealth, what do you do with it? And so I would say educate yourself, read books. I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of books. I guess I don't read anymore. I listen to them, but read books, watch podcasts, put effort into educating yourself outside of school. That's what I would say.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. You talked a lot in your seminar there about setting goals and how it's really important. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that if you're not setting goals, you're running around aimlessly with like a chicken with your head cut off. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a goal set of, hey, I want to be here one day, then where are you going? A lot of people, they talk about, hey, one day I want to buy a house. All right, well, put a date. What date? Do you want to buy a house this year? Do you want to buy a house next year? If you just say, hey, I want to buy a house someday, and you never actually set a date of, hey, I'm going to buy this house by this day, that could be on your goal board for the rest of your life. And so I think that it's important in any aspect. You're a basketball player, you're a football player. In football, you guys had a goal this year to win the state championship. You know what I mean? And you guys reached out and set that goal. You have a goal tonight to win and beat East Forest you play. Mm-hmm. And so without having those goals, if you just go out there and, what do you do in practice? You practice this week to beat East Forest. Mm-hmm. And so without having the goal to beat them, everything that you do before that is kind of meaningless. So.
Well, we have a final question. It's, what business do you stand on, or morals you live by, or a hill you're willing to die on?
Oh, man, what business do I stand on? I would say my word. if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my whole effort into it. And I would say, I would die over my word. If I say I got your back and we're going to go and we're going to do this and I'm going to give you my 100% effort. I didn't get to where I'm at by doing 90%. By things being done 90%. A lot of my employees, a lot of people who work for me are upset with me because I don't accept 90%. I'm not willing to give 90%. And so when you work for me, I'm not going to take 90%. Anyone on my team must give 100% because I'm giving 100%. And so I stand on doing things 100% right the first time. And so, I would say I stand on, like I said, my word, man. That's one of the most important aspects you have in this world is doing what you say you're going to do it when you say you're going to do it. And don't make promises that you can't fulfill.
Well, Jesse, what's your business you stand on?
I'd say my business that I stand on is probably my faith. Whenever something's down or I'm not feeling great, I always turn to my faith to pick me right back up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Say mine is if you keep working every day, you'll eventually get at your goal that you want to achieve. You won't get there by just sitting around.
Yeah.
If you work every day at it, it will eventually come to you.
That's the truth, man. Little effort every single day to reach that goal, and you will get there for sure.
Well, Shaquan, thank you for
having
on to our
me.
podcast.
I appreciate you guys having me for sure. Thank you, Jesse.